Brad Marchand takes it home in double overtime for the Florida Panthers. This game was contested in mud all night. It was sloppy. It was ugly. It was bitey. I mean, at this point, they may as well be biting each other's ankles. This game had everything. These are the two best teams in the NHL this year, bar none, when watching this series. But it's Brad Marchand, the Rats, the Florida Panthers, and the Big Cats who get it done over the Oilers in Edmonton and Rogers Place. And what a heartbreak after the Edmonton Oilers tie it 4-4 for fans of Edmonton. And what a relief if you're a fan of Florida. Bigger relief if you're a player on Florida. We have now played the equivalency of 3 hockey games in 2. This is close. And Florida does exactly what they need to do to win a Stanley Cup, which is just steal 1 in Edmonton. And now the advantage goes to Florida. Pretty cool, eh? That is if you believe in home ice advantage. The Florida Panthers drag the Oilers into the deep water, into the mud. We talked about it in our pre-series preview that Florida is going to gap up, that they're going to get nasty, and Edmonton is not going to have the room they've had so far to work in the neutral zone. Now, in game 1, there were 2 stories. There was half the game where Florida was able to execute their strategy and they took the lead and it was close. And there was half the game where the Edmonton Oilers were able to break out, use that speed in the neutral zone and kill them with speed. In game 2, totally different story. Edmonton is able to show flashes of that brilliance in the neutral zone, but Paul Maurice and the Florida Panthers adjusted, and they adjusted so well in this game. They stood up Connor McDavid at the line. That is hard to do. When he hits the line with speed, he's going to push everybody back, creating absolutely nightmare matchups. They gapped up better on their players. And you know what? They got greasier. Sam Bennett may go down as an all-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner if they get through here. What a wild world. He takes another swipe at a goaltender. And you know what? Oiler fans, if you're pissed, you are welcome to be pissed. But you know what? It's the same actions that all hockey players take. Is Bennett a little greasier than them all? Absolutely. But it's what makes him so effective. The Oilers have taken their fair share of liberties with other teams as well, too. But you know what? I don't think I've ever seen a player as good at being an agitator, injuring, getting in front of goalies and other players as Sam Bennett, and as deadly as a player in terms of scoring goals. Edmonton really needs to start noticing this guy around the crease and stop pushing him into goaltenders. I get it's a battle. Pull. Don't push. You know he's baiting you into it. Thank goodness for Edmonton and Oiler fans that Stuart Skinner is okay and finishes the game, because the way he fell back on that knee was ugly. But you know what? This is the game in the game, and there is a ton of it. Guys are going to talk about it forever. I have been saying it since the playoffs started. There's no crying in the playoffs. You deal with it. You figure it out. This is part of Sam Bennett's game. It's what he brings to his team. He is a massive contributor for it. Edmonton's got their own guys doing it. Evander Kane, awesome game tonight again from him. Maybe one of the most unsung heroes out of both teams. He was physical. He got to the net. He got a goal. Vander was over this game. He had a stamp everywhere. But it'll be all for naught because Florida wins this game. They also traded Barbs, and the depth had opportunities to score on both teams. Kasperi Kapanen, Podkolzin, they have an opportunity to put it in. The goaltender, Bobrovsky, shuts it down, turns it away at the exact right time. Posts at the exact right time. Florida has an ability to bury it. But you know what I say about posts just means the goalie was in good enough position. There wasn't enough net to shoot at. Doesn't even count as a shot on goal, but they are exciting to see. Stuart Skinner plays a fantastic game. Bobrovsky plays an absolutely brilliant game. And as we get into double overtime, you see how tired these teams start getting. You see the mistakes. I think for me, this game was one of the ugliest games I've ever watched. It was beautiful in terms of playoff hockey and the Stanley Cup, but it was ugly compared to the first game. The first game was fast. The first game had tic-tac-toe passes. Teams, both of them, were on it. They showed their best in this game because Florida was able to drag them into the mud. The longer it went and the more physical you get. There were 60 hits from Florida, 39 from Edmonton. Don't forget there were 102 last game. As these hits pile up, they are going to get tired. Both teams are going to make mistakes and it becomes a war of attrition. And that to me is why Brad Marchand was able to score in that breakaway. The breakaway was beautiful, but it was ugly. And the fact that that snuck through Stuart Skinner is wild. Skinner is exhausted. Everybody is exhausted. Reinhart has a breakaway and ability to put it away. Edmonton had their fair shares of opportunities to put it away. And statistically speaking, the team that scores the goal to tie it to go into overtime does have a slight edge in the NHL playoffs of closing games out, but not today. Now, I know I'm going to miss a lot of facets of this game because we cover the game right after it's done. And this was a long one, but let's go ahead. Let's break down some of these goals for you, starting with the Bennett goal. As they come in here, the first thing that catches my eye immediately is the fact that Bennett brilliantly is able to stay onside here. Really nice pick play to his buddy Matthew Tkachuk. And what that does is it causes and catches all the Edmonton Oilers on one side of the ice. So now you got all four in a small grouping here. And anytime you're into a small grouping in such open ice as the penalty kill, advantage goes to the power play. They move it over to the wide open defenseman on the point. And now Edmonton's going to be in a bit of trouble. You're not going to have the opportunity to set in your defensive zone here. You're going to be in just an absolutely difficult, traumatic position to be in. And Florida really is just going to get a bunch of broken plays in here in order to get it in. It's a quick little shot. Great stick on puck there by Edmonton. Sam Bennett is on this puck. He was flying to start this game. Regroups it back to the point. You're going to step in. And it's just a simple little shot on net. You've already lost the stick at this point in time. Look at Sam Bennett kick that stick out. Fantastic job. Now he's stickless. Repeat, stickless as that puck goes in. Again, broken play, like I said. It's a little bit ugly here by the Panthers. It ends up over to Nate Schmidt. He has been such a phenomenal pickup here for Paul Maurice, and the Panthers knows him well from his time in Winnipeg. He's also an A+ human being. If you ever win a competition to go for a beer with any NHL player, you should pick Nate Schmidt. The guy is an absolute brilliant guy, well-spoken, unbelievable hockey player. Yeah, he may not be a household name, but I'm telling you, the guy would have stories. Moves it over here to Sam Bennett, who is wide open because of the broken play. Edmonton is unable to recover at this point. They've gone back. They've tried to get a stick. They don't. They're still stickless. Repeat, stickless. Stuart Skinner in trouble. It's in the back of the net. That's one for Bennett and the Rats. Goal number 2 here. Nate Schmidt's going to move it up the far side wall, and they're desperate to get a change at this point in time. This is why we practice neutral zone regroups, because you want to catch them on the change. So they move that puck up to the middle, and take a look at the far wall here. You're going to see Florida get caught on this change. And we're also going to see something else neat here. The gapping from Florida. This happened all night. They stepped them up at the blue line. They took it away. This was the adjustment they made. They're always aggressive in the neutral zone, but they got even more aggressive. And as you get confident, you're able to take pucks away like you do here. But as they turn it over, Edmonton's going to push back with their own. It's an absolutely massive hit from Edmonton. Unbelievable turnover. It's hits like this that are going to help you win a series. That hit allows Edmonton to turn it over again. Unfortunately, Florida gets caught. And it's just a simple little area pass after making such a big hit. And that's by Arvidsson here. They're going to skate right into it with Evander Kane. And Connor McDavid is going to end up turning this puck over. He gets a stick on it. It happens. Mighty Mouse himself, the man that starts with the big hit, Victor Arvidsson, is going to join in. And this is where Kane likes to shoot. Since his time in Winnipeg and Atlanta, the Jets 2.0, he gets to the top of the circle and he fires rockets. He's gotten better in his older age at doing this, though. Previously, a young Evander Kane had a tendency to miss high and off the glass. That's why I put an arrow down there. And that actually initiates a neutral zone breakout for a team. This one, he's not missing. He hasn't been missing in quite some time. He's learned to dial in that sniper scope. He's learned to handle his speed with both his feet and his hands. Bang. It's such a hard shot. Nate Schmidt, the man that started the play, no ability to get back, so generates 1 goal, goes down -1 because of Kane and Arvidsson in the depth of the Oilers. Edmonton, 200 feet away, generate a goal off here. Edmonton doesn't have a right-handed centerman, and that matters. When you're on the right-handed dot here like Edmonton is, your stick is always pointing towards the middle, and that's a nasty way to win a draw. So here, if the blade of your stick is always pointed towards the goaltender, it is very difficult to get the puck back into the corner, and that's where you want to win it. You want to push it over to here so Bouchard can skate into it, and then Bouchard has an opportunity. There's a few set plays you can run off of it when you skate into it. You can skate out. You can make a little bit of a pass to the half wall. You can wheel up the middle of the ice, or you can do a quick up here to somebody on the strong side. You really do have 3 options if you win the draw, but it's a difficult draw to win. And you're drawing against Barkov, which is going to be hard, but Draisaitl, monster. See what he does there. He doesn't worry about winning it with his blade. He just moves it forward. If you have a disadvantage on the draw, he puts his stick in between Barkov's legs. He ties up Barkov's stick, and Barkov's a monster himself, but Draisaitl is able to keep him at bay. And then Bouchard can pick up the puck here. He has an opportunity. He's going to wait. This is what makes him so good. He knows Barkov is on him. He's looking to the right and he's assessing, do I want to go over here? And the answer is probably no. He sees like, all right, Reinhardt's over here. I don't want to deal with this. What am I going to do? Am I going to eat the puck, or am I going to do the quick up the strong side of the wall? Well, he decides to do the up the middle play. He's so skilled and talented. And now what have you done? This is why the big 3 are so critical in Edmonton. You've caught the 2 best defensive forwards for Florida behind the line. And when you catch your 2 best defensive forwards, it's over. No one's catching Connor McDavid from this spot. And this is all speed. McDavid is able to use that massive speed to get to the blue line. Draisaitl is the one you see on the far side of the wall. And because those defensive forwards are caught, McDavid is able to push them back and cause gaps with time and space. As McDavid hits this line, he's going to hard cut over the middle while Draisaitl plays a little bit of a pick play here, pushing to the middle of the ice. So as they do it, okay, they quick little switch. McDavid is wide open. And now the back checkers, the back trackers, the 2 Selke nominees and the Selke winner himself, they're caught on the wrong side of the puck. And it looks like McDavid has finally figured out how to get a point against Barkov. I know he got an assist last game, but he really does exploit Barkov on this one. He's the main driver. Barkov, beautiful block. Bouchard gets the puck back, favorable bounce, bang, rips it home. And it's at this moment in time you're thinking, who's going to stop the Oilers? I mean, it's 4-on-4, and when games get rolling like this for Edmonton, it is very hard to come back from them. They are able to score in droves, and if you haven't noticed in these playoffs, when Edmonton loses, they usually still put up 4 or 5 goals. You're not going to beat Edmonton 2-1, so it's nerve-wracking for any team when Edmonton gets rolling, especially when they're at home and all that music starts playing and bumping. I really thought this was going to be, well, Edmonton's coming, but you know what? Florida settles it down, veteran presence. Don't worry about it. We'll get it back, boys. And Florida's going to settle it down with who else? Nate Schmidt. Like, the guy has been all over it tonight. He's a very talented defenseman. Puck is over here in the corner. Florida's on the forecheck. They're doing a little bit of a neutral zone cycle. Draisaitl is an opportunity here to get the puck out. Beautiful little pass over behind the net. But it's Florida's forecheck that is just so talented and so relentless. So at this point in time, you're going to play 1, and you got to have 2 guys come back so you can get into your 1-2-2. But the criticality is, I need to move my head out of the way so you can see it, is the fact that Nate Schmidt is allowed to be Nate Schmidt. He makes a lot of decisions on the fly. He's a real vibes kind of guy when it comes to playing. Just take a look at Schmidt step in. He reads the play perfectly, and he's able to pinch in on Cheeks, Kasperi, Kapanen, and he picks up that puck. From here, Schmidt uses his high skill, high IQ. He never panics with it, and you see Seth Jones sneaking in by Kasperi Kapanen. It's all about lengthening and widening, and he catches Edmonton trying to push through. He finds a seam. This seam is just all skill, holding the puck, reading and reacting to the play, and you find a seam behind a player. Bang, beautiful little play, catches Evander Kane in the wrong place. As they step up, Now, Kane, Draisaitl, and Kapanen are in big trouble. You're able to move this over to Jones, who's coming in on the back door. Talk about one hell of a pickup for the Florida Panthers this year. Bang, puts it right off the middle. Too easy, all driven by Nate Schmidt and his ability to pinch in on Kapanen. Maurice gives Schmidt a lot of rope. He really likes this player a lot. Even though he's on his third pairing, he's got a lot of belief in Nate Schmidt. He lets him play his game, and it pays off here. Coaches have to give defensemen confidence. You can't just keep them on a short leash and say, put it up the wall, I'm the big coach, everything down the middle, play hard, hit people. That's not Nate Schmidt's game. Schmidt is a guy that is going to move pucks. Schmidt is a guy that's going to be high risk, high reward, and he's a guy that plays on vibes and feels. He makes the play happen. Jones finishes it 2-2. First period, not done yet. I mean, again, if you're an Oilers fan, this recap hurts. If you're a Florida fan, you love it. Oilers all over him in this period at this point in time. The punch back, the clap back, phenomenal job. Draisaitl is going to drop it off to McDavid here, and they're just going to run it back. The big three were all over the ice here for Edmonton. McDavid picks up the puck. He finds it through. Look at this. Just game breaking, but great job by Florida there on the kill to get stick on puck. Unfortunately for Florida, that puck is going to end up right back on the stick of the best passer and his best buddy, Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl is going to feed it to, well, who else? Connor McDavid. And I think McDavid realizes at this point that this is a 4-on-4 game. He's leaving. He's lost the stick. It's broken. And when you're on a power play, the penalty kill has to recognize this. The problem is when you see McDavid's face and eyes, you cannot pressure. If you overpressure him, he is going to make you look absolutely stupid. And sometimes if you contain, he'll make you look stupid. He turns Barkov in and around. Stick on puck comes in. Beautiful toe drag. Basically takes 2 for 1. Draisaitl is wide open on the back post. And that is all Draisaitl and McDavid feeding off each other with high switches. McDavid doesn't get it through on the first one, but he gets it through on the second. And we all know what made that goal so important to Edmonton. It was the recent hit before that goal from Sam Bennett on Stu Skinner. You can see it here as we go in. They zoom in on Calvin Pickard thinking, man, this has got to be it. And I thought that too. I mean, before we get into this play here, I really did think that he was done, he was out, and Bennett claims another, but Skinner's a tough guy. Here's Bennett in front of the net, and he does this all night. This is net front presence. It's part of the battle. They're allowed to be in the crease. But I said, big, strong guy like Sam Bennett gets touched, he goes down. Like when he's around a goalie, it's what he's going to do. And take a look here. Why are you pushing him into your goalie? Bang, he's down, falls awkwardly. Ouch. And it's a little bit of a better angle here. Skinner's making a standard push. Bennett's in his crease. And it twists. It's no good. It's not what you want to see here as they end up going down. And I think Ekholm knows better than this. I get it. You're going to battle. A guy's going to get behind you. Defensemen want to get in front of forwards because they want to block shots. They want to have zone positioning. They want to be able to transition faster, especially Edmonton. They want their defense in front of the player. They don't want him between the goalie and his player. But you got to make an adjustment when 9 is out there. You have to change. You cannot be in front of the player at this point in time. You have to get behind him. You cannot allow him to get near your goalie because if you touch him, he's going in. It's just part of his game. I know I've said it before. I know Edmonton fans are going to be pissed off about it. I'm just the messenger, guys. I am telling you the reality of hockey. Both teams have players that tend to do this. Bennett's just better than it than most, and it tends to be more often. He got Freddie Anderson. He got Stolarz. Now he's gotten Skinner. And the NHL doesn't care. If they cared, they would have suspended him. The point is, Ekholm and the Oilers and Chris Knoblaw, you guys got to have a discussion. Stop getting in front of him. Bennett did this 3 or 4 more times in the game, not taking necessarily a run at Skinner, but getting behind the goalie. I mean, he is just phenomenal at it. You want this guy on your team. You do. And how do I know that? Evander Kane's on the team. You want him on your team. He changes a game for you. So regardless of a player's history or past or what he's doing, the impact on the ice is noticeable. And he's a really good goal scorer as well. So Florida fans are going to love him. Edmonton fans are going to be pissed forever. Just the way it goes. So let's head off into the second period. This is the period we're going to get into mud. The first period is fast, it's crisp, guys are scoring, there's storylines going on, there's hits, there's all of it. The second period is an absolute slog. This is Florida slowing it down to their level. This is Florida not panicking. This is big Cats hockey, baby. This is why they're the defending Stanley Cup champions, and why if Edmonton's going to beat them, it'll feel so good because you're overcoming a juggernaut. These guys are just next world good at what they do, and what they do is play hockey. The Edmonton Oilers get running around here and they get caught. Carter Verhaeghe is going to move it over here to Kulikov. Kulikov's going to step in, quick little snapper. He ends up getting the goal. He doesn't get this one here. It's a quick little block shot. Ends up on the stick of Barkov, who's going to move it over here to the back. It's going to be Ekblad. He's going to move it down. And then we're going to get a change. It's going to be Verhaeghe again. So Seth Jones is hanging out. Florida now has an opportunity to get a change. And take a look. We talked about this in the first game. You cannot allow the puck to come from one corner all the way over to a defenseman. This is the first goal that Draisaitl got, or at least assisted on, in the first game. Nope, Draisaitl got it, but it still moved it over to there and he kept up the rebound. Verhaeghe moves this over to Kulikov, and when that happens, we talk about this all the time on the channel, you want to be in a small corner if you're the defensive team. You want to be wide and long if you're the offensive team. So they move it back here. Kulikov comes in fresh off the bench, quick little snapper. Not a lot of defensemen using clappers these days. Tkachuk's in front of the net. Skinner doesn't see it. It's a clear goal, but really the criticality of this came from Verhaeghe being able to get it through. You need to have a player here in the middle of the ice. So we lose the assignment. We don't have any support, and that has happened because of all the puck movement and broken plays caused by Florida. Good tying of the game. Now a play we've seen 100 times before from Edmonton. The Nuge, Draisaitl, normally sure-footed. I told you in the playoff series that Lundell and the Marchand line and the E2 Lusteranian, they were going to go ahead and be a nightmare for this team, and they were tonight. Marchand gets the goals. Nice stick on puck here by Marchand, and he has the wherewithal. This is veteran presence. It's a little bit of a flyby, and you look for an opportunity to score on a penalty kill. That is massive. A lot of players do it in the NHL. You go, if I get a loose puck, maybe if I sneak out, I can get a goal here, and every coach wants them to push. I sure do. Lundell ends up with the turnover on the Nuge here from it, and it's Marchand who's gone on a breakaway. Marchand and Lundell, phenomenal turnover. Nugent Hopkins, normally so sure-footed, so good with that puck. He's gone, and as Marchand comes in, it's just a quick little nasty move. I wish I could show it in full time here. Again, YouTube gets pissed. Let's see if we get away with one here. Bang, bang, bang. It's in the back of the net. And now it's at this point in time. You heard me say it earlier in the video. You feel like, oh boy, here come the Oilers. It's going to be hard to stop. Well, now you're thinking, oh boy, here come the Panthers. I don't know if the Oilers are going to be able to stop this either. They've dragged them into the deep water. This game's an absolute slog. It's under 20 shots. We're halfway through the game. But how wrong can you be? Edmonton, the best team in the NHL, 6-on-5. Left-handed dot, left-handed shot. We said it. They do not have a right-handed centerman here. This is a massive advantage from taking the draw at this point. You're trying to win it back this way. If you lose it, you have two players ready for puck support in case it's tied up, or in order to get to the net. They win the draw. Let's call it a neutral draw. Anytime it comes over here, it's a neutral. Florida's able to poke it forward, but that's why you lay up two players on that line. You get one that's gone into the slog, which is the middle, and now all of a sudden it's a quick little turnover, and really, really nice job there by McDavid to turn it over. And this one, it's all going to be about Corey Perry. They move that puck back to the top. Quick little shot from the point. Rebound. No big deal. Corey Perry, though, makes it a massive deal. Look how many players are on Perry at this point in time. He is so big, so strong, such a pest, such an agitator, and a 50-goal scorer to boot. As he sneaks in here, look at the strength it takes for him to get his stick on the ice here. He has no body position on this player at this point in time, but he is able to get his stick down there. Goal scorers, gonna score goals. Even at 40 years old, he's an absolute monster and a terrorizer in front of the net. He takes it into overtime. And statistically speaking, the Oilers should win this one. They got momentum going on their side. They're flying. The shots are 30-31 at this point in time. But once again, the no panic from Florida is critical. Overtime, Draisaitl doing Draisaitl things. Big mountain of a man. Moves it to the point for Ekholm. Ekholm gets a big shot. What happens? Exactly what I was talking to you about in that Evander Kane goal. Do not miss wide when you shoot from the top of a circle. It's a free breakout for the team. And that's exactly what costs them here, especially when you're tired. So Ekholm misses the net. Pick it up. It's Lundell to Marchand again. And the reason it's such a problem when you miss from the strong side to the weak side like that is you're always caught wide over here. And Marchand has done such a good job of sneaking behind the best players on Edmonton. Bang, he picks it up. He's gone again. It's an ugly goal. It's not as good as his first goal. Draisaitl works hard to get back. It's Trickler through the legs of Skinner. And that is all she wrote. That's the game. Missing high and wide. Never a good miss. I always feel you're better off shooting short side because if you miss short side, there is no breakout. The way the puck is going to bounce short side, you keep it on the strong side of the ice and you're not risking anything. Now, players, when they shoot, they just look for open net. They shoot for tips, but it is tough when you have an opportunity at one end and it ends up in the back of your own net. But this is the story of hockey. All of you fans on this channel have been watching hockey for some time now. Those of you who are new to hockey, maybe you've been watching for a couple years, but you've still seen enough games that you start getting that gut feeling. You see a shot and you go, oh no, we're in trouble. The puck may be in the offensive zone, but before you know it, it's in the back of your net. This is going to be a long series, a very long series. I think this is going 7. Maybe I'm wrong, but the fact that there are 2 overtimes, we played 3 games. It's the best in the world and the best in the world. Edmonton is one of the best road teams in the NHL. Yes, they're going to Florida. It's a long flight. It's humid down there, blah, 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 blah. I do think Edmonton is going to split the series when they go. I don't know if Florida is going to be able to take 2 at home, but Florida is a very good team at home too, and Florida is a very deep team. I expect more overtime. I expect more hits, but the biggest thing I expect in this series is for it to get uglier in both ways. I expect it to get more physical, more injuries, more slashes, more hacks, and I expect fans to get fired up and yell at players about going to the net, dives, hits, whatever else it is. I mean, that's what I expect. That's how fired up people get in the playoffs. We lose all common sense when our team is playing. We're out for blood. We're out to see them win. This is going to be a heck of a series. And if you guys have made it this long in the video, I got a little bit of an insider tip. I need your help to help me out with it. The video's on your screen right now. I think I might have gotten a leak about who is the new Hart winner. Leon Draisaitl's been nominated. Kucherov's with him. Connor Hellebuck's with him. I think I have a little bit of inside baseball, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the picture's forged. Maybe it's AI. Maybe it's Maybelline. But click on this video here right now. Have a quick watch and tell me what you think. We'll catch you guys on Game 3.